Hello and welcome back, Emily Jean if you're new here, and today I am reviewing Fire by Fire by Destiny Soria. So if you want to join me, hear all about it, go ahead, grab your coffee, grab your tea, and let's get cozy. Okay, Fire with Fire, I almost DNF'd on the first page, no joke. I don't know if I was just in a mood or what, but the first sentence just felt so clunky. The first paragraph, I'm like, oh, I don't want to read this. I have no interest. It was like following a high school girl and there was nothing magical or fantastical or exciting about it. It just felt really off. So, first recommendation, just skip the whole first chapter because I stuck with it and I gave it 4 stars. I ended up loving it. So this is about a family of dragon slayers and one of the sisters soul bonds with a dragon. So enter drama. There's also this whole thing between dragon slayers and sorcerers and like what is the reality about dragons, and so it was so good. It ended up being so good. The second chapter starts with the sister who is doing some training, and the sisters start practicing their dragon slaying. So that was way more interesting. The first chapter, one of the sisters is just driving around with her best friend complaining about how fast he's driving. I don't even think, like, having read the whole book, that it gives us, like, important character elements. I would just start with the second chapter. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I found it had some very similar vibes to Legendborn. So I would recommend this if you enjoyed Legendborn. Totally different story. I can't really put my finger on what it was. Maybe the writing styles were similar. Maybe the age is similar. But it felt a little bit like Legendborn, and I definitely enjoyed Legendborn. But I really, really enjoyed the dragons in this book, or dragon. We really only get to know one specific dragon, but I really enjoyed the dragon we got to know. I enjoyed the sorcerer versus dragon slayer aspect. One of the sisters I didn't particularly enjoy or like, but that's okay. Overall, I liked this book. I would recommend if you're looking for a fun fantasy book. This is probably sold as YA, but I'd say it's more like new adult. I think it might be YA. I think one of the sisters is in high school working at like a ropes course for the summer, so probably YA. If you like YA fantasy, if you like dragons, definitely give this a chance. For my CAWPILE, I gave characters a 7. If we had just been following the one sister, I probably would have given it an 8 out of characters, but I just really didn't like the other sister. So the two sisters are Danny and Eden, and a lot of the GoodReads comments don't like Danny at all. She's the one who soul bonds with the dragon, but I loved her, and I did not like Eden. And some people really liked Eden, so it's interesting to see, like, we could have Team Danny or Team Eden shirts. I got this in a book box. I probably never would have picked it up, but I'm so glad that I did get this and that I did end up reading it. So I liked Danny more than Eden. Danny was the one who soul bonded with the dragon. And what's so interesting, which seems so obvious now, but the back of this book jacket says, "I didn't choose you and you didn't choose me, but we have each other now, always." I thought that was about the two sisters. It's about Danny and the dragon. Not a spoiler. It's right here in the back. It's a human hand with a dragon. Their connection is so beautiful. I loved getting to know the dragon's personality and how they connect to humans. That was so interesting. And the cover art of this edition is just beautiful. So we have the two sisters. And then the book jacket itself, you can kind of see what the relationship is like. So we've got Danny over here with her hand on the dragon, and Eden over here a little more standoffish. And then also I love the undercover of this, the actual cover of the book. So characters 7, atmosphere 7, writing 7, plot 8, Intrigue 8, Logic 8, Enjoyment 8, which rounded out to 7.57, which made it a 4-star read for me. This is a case where I'm really glad I did not DNF. Don't DNF on the first page. I usually do try to give it about 100 pages, and I'm glad that I did because this one ended up being one of my favorite reads of the year so far. If you've read it, let me know. If you know other books where dragons are the character, not just part of the world, please let me know because I'm super interested in reading that as well. There are a lot of fantasy books where dragons are like an element, but I don't feel like we actually get to know the dragons and their personality, like having them as a character. So if you know more of those, please let me know in the comments. And that's it for my review today. Thank you so much for hanging out, and hopefully I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye, guys.